First month of 2023 has just flown by and I cannot believe it. It's wild, it's crazy, but here we are getting ready for the second month in 2023. You know, I get asked quite a bit, how is it that I'm able to do so much? You know, I work as a doctor, I have 2 kids, I do content creation, I take care of my home, and I try to be present with my husband and the rest of my family. And I get asked, you know, how is it that I do everything that I do? And part of the reason is this monthly reset that I have to do every month. The month that I don't do it, I really recognize a difference. And so it's very important to me to take some time at the end of every month to reflect on the previous month and to plan the upcoming month, and that makes life just a lot less chaotic, more enjoyable, and very much productive. So we are going to take a second, reflect on the month of January, highs and lows, what worked, what did not work, and then we're also going to take a look at February. What are some of the goals that I'm looking forward to in February? And then we're also going to take a look at finances. I have something fun I want to show you that I'm trying to use in our finances, and then we'll end this video off on a lighter note and we'll take a look at some of my favorites as well as some of the books that I plan on reading this month. So let's get started. If you are like me, you have a lot on your plate, I encourage you, grab a pen, grab a paper, grab your favorite drink, have your cute little notebook, and let's just reflect on the previous month and just look forward to the upcoming month and how it is that we can organize our lives to be productive but to also enjoy the life that we have to live. Let's start off with reflecting in January. So January, I would start off with the lows. As you can see, my voice is a little bit raspy because the last 2 weeks I have been recovering from upper respiratory tract infections that I keep getting from my girls, which is funny because, you know, between my husband and I am more like the health conscious one. I want to eat veggies every day. I try to track the water that I drink. Sometimes I take supplements, you know, I'm trying to reduce the sugar. You know, I try to exercise and everything. My husband, he just lives his life. He doesn't care much about that. Has he gotten sick during this month at all? No, he has not. He never gets sick. I'm always the one whenever the girls, they're in daycare, so whenever they get a runny nose from school, I always pick it up and pay for it. So the first 2 weeks of the month was very productive, which is usually the case for most people. You know, the start of the new year, you know, we started off strong, was very productive, but the last 2 weeks of the month sucked, to be quite honest. I wasn't feeling well, I was down. You know, I wasn't sick, but you know how it is when you have the flu, your energy is down, your head is hurting, your body pains. I had everything like 2 or 3 times back to back. So the last 2 weeks in January was not very productive. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming month to, you know, get things started again. So that was my low for the month of February. My high was my Sunday routine that I have been faithfully cultivating. So I'm trying to incorporate a day of rest in my routine. So on Sundays I avoid screens, I avoid any house chores, and I just use that as an opportunity to rest. I have recently been baking so I've done donuts, I've done cakes, and yeah, that has been very restful. I look forward very much to my Sunday evenings. So let's talk a little bit about what worked and what did not work. For sure, I skipped gym the last 2 months, I believe. I think the last time I was there was either October, November. And my thought pattern was that it was consuming a lot of time to drive to the gym and then drive back. And I wanted to try doing workouts at home. So I had the idea of doing Pilates at home instead of going to the gym, and I did it a couple of times and I enjoy the workouts, but I don't know, doing at home workouts are not motivating to me. I just feel like I could be doing, like, I need somewhere to go. If I have somewhere to go, you know, I'm going to the gym today, then it's a lot more productive. So working out at home is not working out for me in this season, so I think I need to go back to going to the gym. I'll probably just have to make time for it. So that is something that's definitely not working for me. And what is working for me I guess I could just tie it in with the highs of January. This Sunday routine that I have been cultivating is very restful, very peaceful. I enjoy it, and then I use the evening to plan the rest of the week, and it has been very, very, very restful, very productive for me to have that day when I get to rest. I'm not doing any house chores, I'm not doing any work at all, and then in the evening I plan the rest of the week. So let's move on to our goals for the month of February. Let me know in the comments below what are the things that worked for you in the month of January, and let me know what are the things that did not work and what are you gonna change this month. Also, I'd like to know, what are you guys planning for? What are you hoping to achieve this month? I think that when you take some time to reflect and really internalize what's important to you and what you want to work on, and then you set that goal. For most people, not all personalities work that way, of course, but for most people, having an intention really sets the tone and helps them keep going. So for me, I use my power sheets, Cultivate What Matters power sheets, at the end of the year in December, and I run through, I do like a vision board, I evaluate where I am, and I try to think of the goals that I want to achieve as the year progresses on. So I did that again for the month of February, but the 3 things that I think that I want to work on the most this month in February, because you know, one of the principles that we go through in Cultivate What Matters is that you can't do everything all at once. So you can't focus on every single thing and give it 100% all at once. So they try to get you to break down what you want to achieve in the year into smaller chunks. So what are you going to focus on in the first quarter, the second quarter, or in this month, or in this week? And so you get little bite-sized pieces, but eventually they add up to a big chunk. So for this month, the 3 things that I really want to work on would be to restart working out, which I'm not sure how that's going to work out because we're traveling in the next couple of months, well, not next, in the next couple of weeks, and I don't want to restart going to the gym this month, and then when we travel I won't be going and then have to start back again. So I'm just wondering, should I be naughty and just not go to the gym this month and next month and the month we're traveling and then start again when I actually come back? Or should I just work with the time I have and then take that time off when we do travel? And then I don't know, but I feel like I need to be active again. I can feel, you know, I can feel that my body's getting used to not being active, and I don't want that. So I think I am going to rejoin the gym again this month and start working again on my workouts. The other thing I want to do is replace my screen time with reading. So last month, I think I did a pretty good job with reducing the amount of time that I spend on my phone. I have Sundays where I don't use my phone, I don't watch YouTube videos, I don't go on Instagram or Facebook for much of the day from morning till about like evening time. And then I also do the same thing between 5 and 7 most days. But what I want to do is replace that time with reading. So I really want to, I did not achieve my goal last month. So last month I wanted to read 2 books. 2 books. How can you not read 2 books in 1 month? I don't know, but I wasn't able. I read 1 book and I read a quarter of another book. So I was almost there, but I didn't quite reach my goal of reading 2 books. I really want to be able to read 2 books in a month. So that is my plan. So like I said, one of the things that I am going to work on for the month of February is not just reducing my screen time, but replacing it with increased reading. And then the other thing that I really want to work on this month is to be setting time out to plan. We have, like I said, an upcoming trip, which is a very long trip in terms of actually getting to our destination, plus the amount of time will be spent out. It involves a lot of logistics. My husband has been handling the back end of it, but it's time for me to get, you know, a little bit involved. And so I need to plan. I want to plan where we're going to stay, what we're going to do, different activities, etc. I also need to plan what the content during that time will be like, whether we will pre-film some videos before we leave, or whether we'll be filming while we're you know, I need to sit down and plan for that. So those are the top 3 goals that I have for the month of February. Not to say that I won't be focusing on anything else, but those 3 are my priorities, and I highly encourage that. Even if you have multiple goals that you are working on, I think it's always a good thing every month, every week, every day to have like a top 3, you know, the top 3 things that you will be focusing on today or for the month or for the year, so that you have a direction. So if nothing else gets done, if you have less time than you thought you would, then I'm not going to do these, but I will definitely focus on this. So that's the point of the top 3 goals that I'm focusing on this month. All right, so let's talk a little bit about finances. So for the month of February, one of the things that I really want to work on is tracking our finances. We do an okay job of it, but I really want to up our game this month. We have a few big projects that we are looking into, and I feel like to be able to do those projects really well, we need to have a better idea of what our finances is doing, how much is coming in, and what's going out and where it's going. In January, I purchased an Excel spreadsheet. I did not even know you could do that. It was from a YouTuber, Selena Trevino. I think she's an economist, and she did this Excel sheet and she had it for sale, which if I stick to it, it would be worth the investment. If I don't, then it would probably be a waste of money. But I just thought it was right along the lines of what I want to do this year. I would just like to see, I would just like a better idea of our income in terms of what's coming in and how it's going out. I mean, we have like this set format where we save a certain percentage, and then we have a certain percentage that's allotted to bills and everything, and then the rest of it we kind of play with it depending on what the month looks like. But I think that we probably need to get a better handle on exactly what we're spending it on, and so you can't make any changes unless you know exactly what's going on. So I feel like we just need a better system to actually track our finances, especially because we have, you know, a couple of things coming up this year. So I'll share a screen recording of the Google document. All right, so first you have like an annual dashboard where you're able to track your total income, your bills and expenses, your investments, your savings, and then it shows you like a graph in graph form, that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to being able to see that for the month. And then you have trackers where you're able to track how much money that you're saving, whether it's long-term savings or sinking funds. Then you also have an investment tracker, a bills tracker, so you can track how much you're actually paying your bills on a yearly basis, the subscription tracker as well, and it also has a debt tracker and an income tracker, so you can, you know, have an idea of how much money that you're getting every month. And then there's another tab for saving, debt, and investment. So as you input the information, it does it on a graph form, so you can see how much that you're saving towards or how much you're paying off your debt. And then there is tabs for every month of the year, and every month you have a table where you can input your income. There's another table where you can input your fixed expenses, and then there's another one where you can input your variable expenses, so like dining out, shopping, self-care. And then there is one where you can input your savings and your investments, and so you're able to track that every month, as well as your debt. And then here at the bottom, you're able to track all of the things that you spent your expenses on. You can put it in a different category, and then as you input the information, it gives you a graph. So let me use the example here. You see, so as you input the information, it automatically makes a graph, and it shows you like what percentage you're spending on debt, on your bills, on investment, etc. And then it also shows you like how much you're contributing to your loan. And I just feel like this is a really good tool that I'm looking forward to using for the rest of the month. There is see here you go. Here is a monthly expense summary. so you know exactly how much percentage you're spending on groceries or dining out or public transportation. And since this is all online, I feel like, you know, my husband and I can both input the information. So, well, actually I'm the one inputting it into the Excel sheet, but we do have like a notes app that we share. So whatever we put into the notes app, it shows up on both our phones. So I ask him whenever he spends money, whether he puts gas in the car or he buys something of significant value, then to put it into the app. And then, you know, every couple of nights I'll probably just put it into the Excel sheet so that we have a graph that will help us track our expenses. I just feel like we're getting to that point where our little notebook system is good, and I'm sure it will continue to work, but I just want it to be a little bit extra. I just want to see things differently and track better and just have a better idea of what's going on in all the areas. And I feel like this has everything in one place, so I'm very looking forward to that. I will have it linked below if you are interested. All right, so let's end this video on a more cheerful note. We are going to talk about the 2 books that I found on reading this month. I have 2 of them. I have Pray Confidently and Consistently by Valerie Warner. It looks like a very easy to read, very digestible book, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I have Hold On To Your Kids, which I started reading, so I am probably about this much, so I just need to finish this book up. And then my aunt also told me that she has a few books by James Patterson, which I can read in like a couple of days or 2 days actually. It's usually the non-fiction books that take a lot more time to read. So that's how I completed 1 book in January. Actually, it was actually a fiction book by James Patterson, Jack and Jill. So I read that, and then I was able to read part of this. So this month I'm hoping to still read a non-fiction book, but I want to complete 2 non-fiction books this month. And then we'll talk a little bit about some of my favorites for the month of January. So I got a few things for my kitchen, and there's this little corner in the kitchen that I've been playing around with. So I got a few things there, but hands down my favorite is this spice rack that I got. It has a nice wood finish, but then the stand is black, metallic black, which kind of, you know, ties in with the rest of the kitchen, and it's just been really nice. And then right along with that, I had previously bought spice jars, but I needed to label them, so I got chalkboard stickers. They come in a roll like this, and you write on them with chalkboard, although I'm thinking of getting chalkboard markers. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I really like these. They are very useful, not only for the spice jars, but just for a lot of other labeling purposes. I really like these. They've come in very handy, so this was definitely one of my favorites. And then something else that I really liked was highlighters. I got some gel highlighters for my Bible. I usually use the blue highlighter to just highlight references to God in my Bible, so whether they're actually using the name of God or they're saying he or his or my or I or pronouns. If pronouns are being used to represent God, then I like to highlight that in blue. And I ran out recently, but I wanted something that wasn't bleeding through, because the markers that I had, they bled through on the other page, because you know Bible pages are so thin. And so I looked into gel highlighters. They're like crayons, not quite like crayons, but they have a feel like crayons, but it's perfect because it does not bleed, it does not smudge, it's just lovely. So that has definitely been one of my favorites this month, and I'll have all of those linked in the description box if you are interested in checking any of them out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next reset at the end of February, which, if things continue to go as they are, it's been the blink of an eye. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.